Fishing is one of the most hated mechanics in Terraria by far, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who actually really enjoy it. So is fishing in Terraria really that bad, or are people complaining too much about a decent mechanic? Let's talk about it. Before talking about the good things about fishing, I think we should establish why so many people hate it in the first place. It's super RNG dependent. You can maximize your luck in various ways, sure, but you get loot from fishing and it's still completely random at the end of the day. This can make grinding for specific items a huge chore. You could get super lucky and obtain what you want in a few minutes, or you could spend a few hours trying to get a single item that you just aren't lucky enough to obtain. The process of fishing itself is also mechanically very boring. You just stand there, patiently waiting to see a rod bob up, you left click to get your items, and then you repeat the process. That's it. It feels super slow if you aren't doing anything else while fishing. I can say that personally, the only times that I bother to fish for items in Terraria is when I'm on a call with my friends or doing multiplayer, because sitting there and doing it all by myself is just too stale. Other games with fishing mechanics do handle this process in a much better way. In Stardew Valley, for example, there's a mini game every single time you try to catch a fish, which instantly catches your attention and forces you to actually do something. You will also likely get a bunch of garbage and clutter when fishing, which can clog up your inventory with a bunch of stuff that you don't even want. So the only time you're really gonna be paying attention while fishing in Terraria is whenever you need to throw stuff away from your inventory and make more space, which isn't really fun, it's just inconvenient. On top of this, the main NPC behind this mechanic is the Angler, who is the most hated NPC in Terraria by far. His dialogue is never really useful. His entire point is just to be an annoying kid who forces you on little errands. The idea of fishing quests isn't bad, but it's very poorly executed. Forcing the player to wait an in-game day before taking on a new fishing quest is just very unnecessary. It doesn't make the process more interesting, it just incentivizes new players to ignore fishing entirely. Even the rewards the Angler can give the player are luck-based, just like the fishing itself. This means that you could get an amazing item like the fishing bobber from the Angler, or you could get something completely useless like a random vanity set. As a whole, there are definitely things to criticize about fishing in Terraria. By no means is it a perfect system. I do think there are some benefits to it that people don't talk about enough though, so let's focus on the good things about fishing instead. Fishing is one of the easiest ways to collect items that you would otherwise find in underground chests. Let's say you want to make Terra Spark boots, for example, and part of that huge crafting tree is ice skates. You might never find this item in an ice chest underground, and in that case, fishing can be a huge benefit. Instead of making an entirely new world and exploring yet another ice biome to find this item, you can just fish in the ice biome for a few minutes until you get ice skates from a crate. It's still luck based at the end of the day, and you might get really unlucky, but it's often a much faster option than trying to search for more chests. Fishing is also essential for higher difficulty playthroughs because of the potions you can craft using fish. The endurance potion, for example, is amazing, and it requires bottled water, blink root, and an armored cavefish. You can still get through difficulties like master mode without fishing, but it is way harder. There are also a surprising amount of great items that you can get through fishing that are exclusive to fishing. The bottomless water bucket, the blade tongue, the toxicarp, the crystal serpent. Fishing is not going to be your go-to option for good weapons all of the time, but it still has a lot to offer if you want to try something new. Fishing is a pretty good way to make some money as well. You do get a lot of junk, yes, but you also get a lot of valuable items from crates that you can then sell for a decent amount of coins. Hard mode crates, for example, can give you adamantite or titanium bars, which are worth a lot. If you want to make good money without fighting a bunch of enemies or creating an annoying AFK farm, fishing is a surprisingly effective option. At the end of the day, I think that fishing isn't entirely good or entirely bad. It has some flaws, but it also has some big benefits. I think it's fair to say the system could use a slight rework. There should be something to make it more engaging, it should be less RNG dependent, and the Angler quests should be available at any time. With that being said, it's not really a horrible mechanic by any means. It's a relaxing way to get some bonus loot, and I especially enjoy it when I'm in a multiplayer world. What do you think about fishing in Terraria? Make sure to leave a comment giving your thoughts, and as always, make sure to subscribe for more Terraria discussions. Bye-bye.